Hi.
Hi!
Hello everyone, Mandy friend Gigliotti here and
Hi, Abby friend.
And we are here with Friday with Friends. Friday with Friends is our opportunity to talk to past clients or our future clients about what's happening in the market so that we can provide tips and advice so that when there is any real estate needs that you need, we will be a realtor of choice. We love helping and we look forward to giving you a little bit of insight today into pre-approvals made easy.
Ooh, what's a pre-approval?
I know. Oh, we didn't think of something fun to start chatting with. Oh, we'll talk a little bit about the market. Kim and Beck.
Oh yeah.
So
I was like, where are we going with it?
So there's been a lot of talk, I'm sure if you're paying attention. Hi, Lisa. There's been a lot of talk about the market right now, and there are multiple offers on so many properties, and buyers are really having a hard time competing. And so with that, we actually had the opportunity to chat with Kim and Beck about the market, and it was so much fun. I always love being on with them. But the news channels are picking it up and saying, man, this is a crazy market.
Yeah.
Definitely. What are you seeing on the listing side?
We're seeing, things are going really quick. I know that Leslie, our buyer's agent, it's been a tough few weeks for her just because her buyers, they're pre-qualified, they're awesome, they're more than well, they're awesome buyers, and they're unable to get some of these awesome houses. But on the listing side, it's really good for our sellers. So
yes.
There's pluses and minuses to a seller's market, but for me on the selling side, we're loving it.
Yeah,
it's a strong market for our sellers.
Great. So we'll get right into it. So what we're going to chat about today is pre-approvals made easy, and why that's an important time right now is because in order for a buyer to be able to see a house, we're finding that our sellers are saying, if you're not pre-approved, we're not going to be showing you this house. We're already getting kicked out of our house. We have there's just a lot of action that's happening that if you're not pre-approved, how serious are you is what's coming from the seller's perspective. But then from the buyer's perspective, they're saying a pre-approval is a really big deal. Should I go there? I don't even know if that's what I'm considering. There's a lot of hesitation about it. So we're getting a lot of buyers saying, do I need to have a pre-approval? What's going on? Why do I need to? And we're saying, especially in today's day and age, in the loan officers that we work with, it's easy. It is not a lot to be getting pre-approved.
Yep. It's definitely an easy process. And, coming from the buyer's side, if you find a house and you love it, having that pre-approval in your back pocket is so valuable to say, yep, let's jump on this. Even if I didn't think I wanted to buy a house, but the perfect house came up, here's my pre-approval. I already know that I feel comfortable at this price point. I know what the numbers look like. Let's do this. So there's so many different sides to it, but at the end of the day, it's really important. So we'll kind of break that down in our Friday with Friends.
Sounds good. So do you want to ask the question?
Sure.
Okay,
that
so she'll grill me.
Okay.
Do you want to be like a difficult buyer? Is that what you'll be?
Oh my
okay.
gosh, yes. I'll be a difficult buyer.
Difficult. No, just really a conservative buyer.
And you want to make sure that you feel comfortable every step that you're taking. So we completely understand. But okay, so Mandy, what's a pre-approval and why do I even need one?
So the pre-approval is a document that you get from a loan officer, and the loan officer has reviewed your finances. They've reviewed your income, your assets, your debt, your credit score. And from that, they're able to say, yes, you qualify for this house. And that's why it's so important for as a seller's agent to be able to say, or, representing the seller side to be able to say, is your buyer pre-approved? And you're like, no, they're not. They're just looking around. Okay, I'm not going to be getting my kids out, getting my dogs out. I'm making the house look better for you. Okay. So a pre-approval is that piece of paper that we as buyer's agents can provide, or at least when we talk to the listing agent to say, hey, we want to set an appointment, and they say, is it a pre-approved buyer? Yep, I've seen the documentation.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Right, and I think that that's a key point. I'm going to take off my first-time buyer hat and put on my listing agent hat really quick. That's where, for me as a listing agent, it's so important because my sellers, they could get, especially in a hot market, 15 showings in a day. And, if they're getting the dog out, getting the, house cleaned, getting the kids in their snow pants and packed up and in the car, it's really important that they're pre-approved. So that's A good point.
Yes. And what I will say too, and I will add, is this is for if you need financing and if you need a mortgage. Okay. The other side to it is if you are a cash buyer, which there are definitely cash buyers out there, just a letter from your financial institution, from your financial advisor, where you don't need to say this is how much money is in the account, but someone that is a valid person that can speak to your financial state to be able to say, here's the letter letting you know that they do have the sufficient funds too. So really a pre-approval can come in a form of a mortgage, but you could also have a pre-approval, I suppose, from a financial institution saying you're solid.
As a cash buyer.
As a cash buyer too.
Okay, good with question number 1?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I don't even really know if I want to buy. I'm kind of comfortable renting as a first-time home buyer or future one. Why go through the hassle if I don't even really know if I'm ready or not?
So one of the when people say, oh, I'm so nervous about it, we always break it down into here are the steps that you're going to have to go with. And the first one is decide if you want to meet in person with a loan officer or, well, first you need to pick your loan officer.
True.
So what we always recommend is if there's someplace that you're banking that you feel like there's a really great relationship, they have your bank statements. They have a lot of history. They can see a lot. A lot of times that's where maybe you got your car loan, situations like that. So picking the bank is really important. And within our team, we have loan officers from any sort of institution that you're working with that we love.
So you guys could refer me someone if I was like, I don't really know where to go. Most agents have connections with people that they trust.
Yes, exactly. And that is the first part. But, and then also, let's say that you wanted something like a specific loan, like a USDA loan or a specific grant. We know what banks partner with the city of Rochester. We know what banks may offer a first-time homebuyer program. So yes, we have those, but then also we can kind of guide you in a loan officer that we think will match what you're looking for to make sure that they have the programs you want offered.
Okay.
And can the best thing. So once you have the loan officer picked, that's when you decide, do you want it to be a phone conversation or do you want it to be an in-person meeting? And we find with first-time home buyers, they really want that in-person meeting. They want to bring their mom and dad. They want to bring, whoever else is important and sit face-to-face. But then sometimes we've got our second-time buyers, and conveniently, those are also the ones that have a lot of kids and maybe not a lot of time to go sit. And they say, listen, can I just have a phone conversation?
So you can do this over the phone.
You can do it over the phone. And
can we text qualified?
I don't know. Actually, you probably could.
Could.
I'm sure we've had loan officers that have text qualification, because what the loan officer is looking for you at that point is the big 3 things. It's what is your assets, what are your debts, and what is your credit score. Okay. So in order to get debts, now please, I am no loan officer, okay?
Yeah.
We just have some great connections with a bunch of loan officers that have helped us kind of create content for this today. And with the important things that they're looking for is your tax returns, the past 2 years, your pay stubs, and your bank statements. Now, in terms of documentation, that's really what you have your online bank account, I'm sure. You have your last 2 years of tax return. A little farther than that, I'm not sure, but at least the last 2 years. And they have these portals that you can easily upload that documentation. So if you do want to do it over the phone, you don't have to hand deliver these. You know that it's secure because they have that great technology. Right. So even if it is a phone conversation, you can still be doing that.
Yeah, so that sounds easy. And there's I know a lot of businesses out there have, again, those online portals where they can log in and say, I need my most recent pay stub, and download it and then upload it right to it. And if you're not tech savvy, there are other options too. You can swing by their offices, hand deliver it if you prefer that method too. But for a lot of our first time home buyers, they love the option to get on their computer. I know when I bought my house, I was on my computer and I was like, here's this, download, drag, pull, and everything's in one spot. So there's different options, but you can kind of make it easy. And a lot of people have these things, again, on their online portals where, it might sound like a lot, but once you really look at it, it can actually be pretty quick process.
Yes, and what we're talking about today is pre-approvals made easy, and how we have so many clients that are thinking about buying but are really hesitant about, I have to go through the pre-qualification, pre-approval process, and it's overwhelming, but the reality is it's really not. And so the first step was talking about a little bit what this meeting, the initial meeting and the phone conversation may look like, and how to get those documents.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy,
right? So and then the third piece to it is credit score.
Oh gosh.
What do you think of when I say to get your credit?
Well, I just feel like, as again, my first time home buyer hat, I feel like I don't want to get my credit pulled. I'm really it's something that I'm totally aware of, and I want to make sure that it stays, as high as possible. So isn't it true that when someone pulls your credit, you get like a ding to it? Or I just want to make sure that when I go to buy a house, I have the highest credit score possible.
And that is such a common question that we get from people, because the reality is when you do pull it, you get dinged, dung.
Don't think it's dung.
I don't think it's dung, but your credit score does get lowered. When I asked my loan officers, they were saying it's somewhere between 3 to 5 points for every pull. Now, where there's a problem is when you go and you buy a car and you go to 5 different locations and each one is pulling your credit. When you're talking with your loan officer, it's not like you make the call when they're pulling your credit right away. You can have that conversation. You could say, listen, I'm really worried. I just bought a car. You can have those. We've even had it where if you just bought a car and you just had your credit pulled, they can say, well, show me those. And then you can get an idea for it. Is it 754 or is it 511? So you can get the gist of it. Now, at the end of the day, we do need to have your credit pulled, but you can do it in a smart way that's not affecting it, 20, 30 points. Right. And your loan officer knows the most about it. So they're the ones that can say, yes, we should pull it, or no, listen, every point is going to make a dramatic difference. Let's really try to, see if we can brainstorm different ways to make it so we don't have to pull it time and time and time again.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, it's always something silly to remember, but if you want to buy a house, maybe don't go apply for a new credit card or do these different things where we want to make your credit pull as efficient as possible, and only doing it once and then allowing it to kind of go back up over time. So that's important, and it is something that I know a lot of our buyers are stressed about. So knowing that, okay, it's only going to be done once and it won't make a huge impact, that makes me feel better.
And it's so important to know your credit score so that you can be aligned with not just your mortgage options, but if there are grant programs, if you do need to have credit repair. When my husband and I'm very open about this, but when my husband and I went to apply for a mortgage, we found that our credit was so much lower than we thought it was, and we totally panicked. But the good news was we had about 6 months that we could improve it. And the reason why our credit was bad was because we used credit cards that we put our businesses through, and we pay them off at the end of the month. But our credit was getting checked on the 27th of every month, and that's when I was maxing it out. I was using it as much as I could to build as many points as I could. So it was a simple fix that my loan officer was able to say, pay it on the 15th, pay it on the 30th, and the 15th and the 30th. So you're never maxing out your credit cards, which is how you can really have a lower credit score, and it can impact it negatively. So
who knew?
Who knew? So something as simple as that is why it's so important to get your credit pulled, get it checked, to really know where you stand, so you can figure out what loan programs work for you, if there's any credit repair you can be doing, or any, small fixes that'll make a dramatic difference. And then you can go conventional. You can have these different options that make it so, you can save money.
Right, because I'm sure a lot of people who, haven't gotten a credit card or a new credit card recently, or they haven't bought a car, they might have no idea what their credit score is. Mm-hmm. And so that's something where, we always say it's never too early to start this process. And that's a great example, again, of get in there, let's see what your credit score is. So if you don't want to buy for 6 months, a year, we can at least start the rebuilding process or something like that if we need to. Okay,
exactly.
Next question. So I've heard a lot about this Credit Karma thing. The commercials. Do they have a jingle?
I don't know, but we love a good jingle.
Love jingles. If anyone knows the jingle, comment so I can
let us know if there's a Credit Karma jingle.
Is there? Or is it like a mascot?
I was thinking easy breezy, beautiful cover girl.
That's not it at all.
That's not easy breezy. That was the only. Credit Karma, back to it.
Like makeup, and we're talking about credit.
But we were thinking easy peasy. That's why that was a jingle in my head from earlier. Yeah, pre-approvals made easy peasy. That should have been it.
That should have been next time. Okay, so tell me what Credit Karma is. I mean, can't I just log in there, find my credit score?
So there's a lot of talk about Credit Karma because it's your opportunity to, for free, get an idea of what your credit is. And some people are really nervous about getting their credit checked. They don't want to talk to other people about the fact that they have a lot of student debt. Hello, everyone has student debt. Yeah. So they get really nervous about it. So they want to kind of do it in the privacy of their own home. And Credit Karma is basically where you put in your name, you put in your email address, and it links to your social security number, and you can get your credit score, but it also shows you all of the open accounts that you have. This is important if you think, oh my gosh, I thought that credit card was closed. So you can get an idea from it. So this is a situation where if you don't want to get your credit pulled, you can at least use it as an opportunity to see what's there, and make sure all of the open credit lines look about right.
Gotcha. So you can kind of get like a full picture.
Yes.
In there.
Now, when it comes to your actual credit score, what we're being told is that people can range 100 points either way. So Credit Karma might not be the best. And it's because when you have your credit pulled, there's, 3 different places that they look, and there's all different numbers, and you find the best. But it's really important to know that it may help to give you a basic idea, but probably not going to be giving you an idea of your score.
It's like Zillow, 20%.
Yes,
numbers.
You've got to wave either way, but it is important,
right? And maybe it could be a good, first step if someone wants to know that information or get that. But okay, that sounds good. Want to say hi to people?
Hi, Amanda. Oh yes, cheers, Amanda. Hi to everybody else. I think Heather said hi too. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to give us some likes, give us some loves. Feel free to
come on. Let's get it.
Hi, Carrie. Hi, Anthony. So, okay, last question.
So just if people are joining, we're just talking basically about pre-approvals. And bring it back. I don't know what I was saying. We were talking about pre-approvals and how really it's simple and easy way to make sure that you're, feeling comfortable with your finances, and also knowing, okay, a bank would give me, this much in a loan moving forward with purchasing a home, and also how it's really important for sellers before you actually go and look at a house as a buyer to see your pre-approval letter. Because they're going to be getting the dogs out, getting the kids in their snowsuits, looking so cute, but getting, everybody out of the house for a showing, and they want to make sure that it's actually a serious buyer.
Yep. And that pre-approvals can be intimidating for some people, but this is about that it's an easy process, and if you're connecting with the right loan officer that really has your best interest in mind, it's nothing that you have to worry about, and that they'll make sure that you're protecting your interests, and just making sure that you're on the right path.
Okay, cool. So now let's say I get everything over to the loan officer, and now I get pre-qualified for like way more than I want to spend. Do I have to have a pre-qualification for that amount? I mean, that's not a horrible problem to have.
I know, right? Such a bad problem.
Explain how that works.
Well, a lot of times we have, maybe, a husband and wife who are qualified for something way more than they want to spend. They're saying, listen, I don't want to be house poor. Buy with the friends, they will be with you till the end. Nice, Derek. That they're pre-qualified for a lot than what they actually want to be spending. And so they're saying, well, do I want to really give my agent, do I really want to give the other side that I can afford this much money? Won't that hurt my negotiating power? But whenever we put, as our buyer's agents, whenever we put an offer in, we always match that pre-qualification with that offer. So our loan officers, when we talk about things being easy, they can go in and they can make a quick change to that number. So you can always get approved if you want to spend around, $200,000, get approved for that amount, even though you are pre-approved for more.
Yeah.
So you never have to worry about saying too much. One, as our buyer's agent, we represent your needs exclusively. So if you tell us you can buy $1 million house and you want to buy a $100,000 house, you bet we're trying to save you $500 on that.
Yeah.
No questions asked. So we can modify that number.
Okay, perfect. And then if I write, in this market, a few different offers, we can adjust it each time.
Yes.
I have, again, first-time home buyer hat on.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good. Hashtag friends till the end.
I love it.
And then now, again, I'm just starting the process. So do I want to buy a house tomorrow? I don't know. But let's say in, 6 months, a year, 2 years, I still haven't bought a house. How often do I have to check back in with my loan officer or, update my pre-approval?
What I've heard from a couple of our loan officers is anywhere between, 2 months to every quarter. So 2 to 3 months. And really, that's just to make sure nothing's changed. Did you buy a car recently? Did you get a new job? Are you interviewing for someplace else? Did you put anything, buy a new piece of furniture that you had an open credit about? Anything financially that's changed. All of those things are really important to tell, and that's really why there's that check-in. If you had, if you want to be, going on a vacation inflation and you're depleting your savings account, that kind of quarterly check-in is really important. And it's not where they have to re-pull your credit, they have to make all of these dramatic changes. It's more of those updates. And that's why we say it's never too early to start, because that way, if you're planned, you have all of your documents in with your loan officer, then you find a house that you want to write an offer with tomorrow, they're saying, boom, everything's still good, good, letters off. So having that up-to-date information, that's where we're talking about pre-approvals made easy, so that you don't have to, worry that, oh my gosh, I have to re-update everything. No, when everything's in that portal, that loan officer can work magic and can move really, really quickly.
Great point.
Which we need in this market.
Right. We definitely do. So that was my question, is do they have to rerun my credit every time and things like that?
Yes.
But no is the answer to that.
The answer is no.
Awesome. We have a few more comments.
Anthony, it's funny when they submit with their full buying power. I know, and you know what? I will say sometimes people do say, if they're in a multiple offer situation, they're going 10,000 over asking. Sometimes they will say, yeah, they're qualified for 200,000. So sometimes they can, they will go up just to show what a strong buyer they are. But not in this market. If we are trying to negotiate, you don't have to put that higher amount.
Cool.
Yes, friends till the end. I love it. Thanks for all the comments, guys.
Awesome.
So that is it for today. So we were able to talk about pre-approvals made easy. Thank you all so much for tuning in here on Friday with Friends. We are all about letting our past clients and our future clients know about what's happening in the market, giving some extra tips and advice so that when there's any real estate needs you have, we'd love to be your realtor of choice. Tune in. We do these on Fridays,
Every
typically.
other
Friday. So we'll tune in, stay posted on all of our social media. And if there's any other comments or anything that you'd like for us to speak to in the future, comment here, leave it here, and we would look forward to connecting with you soon, however we can help.
Perfect. Sounds great. Yeah, I can't wait to connect with you guys soon.
Stay warm this weekend.
Bye.